Some breaking San Francisco 49ers news on this Saturday, September 14th. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. And we had an indication after Kyle Shanahan spoke with the media yesterday during his press conference that this news, unfortunately, was on the horizon for San Francisco. The Niners are placing running back Christian McCaffrey, the reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year, on injured reserve due to his calf and Achilles issue just not getting better. We're going to talk about that here on the show. What you can expect from Jordan Mason, what the Niners running back rotation might look like, and I'm going to explain why San Francisco can still be an effective offense without Christian McCaffrey, who's been the best skill position player in the National Football League since coming over to the Niners from the Carolina Panthers. Before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want Niners coverage every single day. Shows, news, rumors, analysis, updates, live shows, the most viewed watch parties on all of YouTube every single day. Then be sure to hit that sub button right here and join the largest independently run Niners channel right here on YouTube. I'm Chase Sr. Thanks for taking time out of your day to spend some time here with me. So Kyle Shanahan said yesterday after practice before the team departed to Minneapolis, where the Niners have not won since 1992, 7 straight losses against the Vikings at their crib, that Christian McCaffrey was going to be out against the Vikings. Now, McCaffrey did practice on Thursday, but Shanahan said yesterday that in the aftermath of that practice, when McCaffrey was on the field, there was some video of him catching some footballs, doing some routes, some light stuff, that he had his worst day since he's had to deal with this calf and Achilles issue. And Shanahan added something that we talked about a few days ago here on the program, that McCaffrey was a candidate to go on injured reserve after a few days ago Shanahan had said he's not a candidate to go on injured reserve. But McCaffrey is going on short-term IR right now, and that news is officially official on the eve of the Niners playing the Vikings tomorrow in Minneapolis. For those of you not familiar, this is a short-term injured reserve stint. That means that McCaffrey, starting with Sunday's game against Minnesota, will have to miss at least the next 4 games. What those games look like for San Francisco: against the Vikings on the road, against the Rams on the road at Levi Stadium South, SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California. That's the Week 3 matchup on September 22nd. Against the New England Patriots at home on September 29th. And then October 6th, the Niners will host the Arizona Cardinals. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey will be able to come back after that. There's no telling, there's no guarantee that he's going to miss these next 4 games, and then he's definitely going to be back right after that short-term IR stint expires. Hopefully he's able to continue his recovery, and hopefully this injury can get better. And it's an injury that's been lingering since the start of training camp, but this calf issue goes back to last year as well. Some people have reached out. I've seen you in the comment section saying, does McCaffrey need surgery? This is not a surgical repair. Unfortunately, McCaffrey doesn't have to undergo any type of surgery. It's just a soft tissue injury that's not getting any better, and that's why McCaffrey now has to go on IR. So this is the right move, I think, for San Francisco because of that, because the injury hasn't improved. In fact, it's gotten worse. According to Shanahan, there have been good days, there have been bad days, and then Thursday was the worst day. So save McCaffrey from himself. He loves ball. He wants to be on the field. He's extremely dedicated to the game of football as well as his teammates. But if this injury isn't getting any better and it's not improving, then you just have to go on IR. That's the final straw. That's the resolution. Rest up. And hopefully toward the middle portion of the season, San Francisco is going to be adding Christian McCaffrey to this team, which in a way you can kind of look at that as some type of a trade acquisition, right? Because it's a huge addition to your roster if you're able to add Christian McCaffrey. And I know what a lot of you are saying, Chase, it's the Madden curse. Chase, my fantasy team is screwed. By the way, nobody cares about your fantasy team except for you. It's a joke, but for real, I also talked about this on the show, about my worries coming off of last year with the 28-year-old running back that the Niners paid, and it was a risk, They upped his average annual value. They gave him guaranteed money. You never want to pay for past performance. The Niners, at least as of right now, are kind of doing that because there are risks here. But because you are financially tied to Christian McCaffrey, there's just no sense in trotting him out there and then him suffering an even worse injury. And I had told people and I warned people, given the workload, led the NFL in touches, the wear and tear, more than 2,000 all-purpose yards, how much he's been utilized by San Francisco, a little bit of an injury history. Do not draft Christian McCaffrey for your fantasy teams because I just had concerns about the injuries, him wearing down, but also that success carrying over year to year, and that's really, really difficult. Now, what does this mean for the Niners? They are talented enough to win without Christian McCaffrey, and it is now the Jordan Mason show for the Niners as far as the running back position goes. We're going to talk about that next, but first, make sure you download the Game Time app. If you want to go to a game, you want to go to a concert, a comedy show, a theater event, whether that be Blue Man Group or Broadway, download the Game Time app. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. They guarantee that you will get the lowest prices on the Game Time app. The curation feature is fantastic. Game Time picks. It just allows you to get the best tickets, and you don't have to worry about those late fees at checkout that other apps hit you with. So if you download the Game Time app and you create an account and you use the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, you get $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. We'll put that link down below in the comment section and in the description of today's Niners Report. So moving forward, I do think that San Francisco can continue to win without Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan's offense is a very run-friendly system. We have seen so many running backs have success in this outside zone scheme before Christian McCaffrey, whether that be Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson or Matt Breida or Elijah Mitchell. Running backs, Deebo Samuel, are able to have a lot of success with this Kyle Shanahan ground attack. And what did we see week one against a really good defense with the New York Jets? Jordan Mason popped off for nearly 150 rushing yards and a touchdown. And he was so good. Runs with a heavy hat, so physical, will bulldoze you, speed, decisiveness, vision, good balance. He can carry the pile. Jordan Mason, if you've been watching this show, first of all, for a while, give me a real one down in the comment section. But I've been talking about Jordan Mason since the Niners signed him as a UDFA. I think one of my talents, I'm not bragging, as being the host of the 49ers Report and being an NFL host and analyst and being very dedicated to the craft, is talent evaluation and having some foresight and seeing that some players are really good and maybe being ahead of the curve on that. And I noticed it with Jordan Mason right away, that he just runs with a special type of power and physicality that he's really hard to bring down. But in Kyle Shanahan's offense, he does not want a running back like LaShawn McCoy back in the day, who is going to dance around in the backfield. You have to see the hole, you have to hit the hole, and you have to run forward. This offense, given the blocking scheme and the play designs, the play structure, the play calls, it is designed for running backs to run forward with a full head of steam, and you have to be decisive. It doesn't really benefit to have a running back who is overly patient and dances around out there, because those holes open up quickly. You got to hit those holes. Jordan Mason is a perfect fit for this Niners team, and he's just a really, really good player. So it's the Jordan Mason show. He's RB1 moving forward for this football team. We'll see if Kyle Shanahan continues to use Deebo Samuel as often as he did out of the backfield. I have to be honest. I know that Deebo in 2021, when he was an all-pro, was used as that wide back, and he was so dynamic as far as being a running back. But when you're giving him 8 carries for 23 yards, there is such a difference in the eye test between Jordan Mason, 5.5 yards per carry, and Deebo Samuel, who really struggled to get going. And I just think it's better to have Deebo as a wide receiver, especially given his injury history. And I think that teams have kind of caught on to the Deebo wide back type of feature when the Niners have used him as that running back, wide back over the last couple of years since that 2021 All-Pro season, the offense becomes a little bit predictable because you know that if Debo's in the backfield, he's probably going to get a carry. So I'd like to see an even bigger workload for Jordan Mason. I want to see Isaac Orendo get some snaps. He had 3 of them against the New York Jets. Get the rookie acclimated a little bit. He has a lot of talent, and he runs with agility, athleticism, and physicality like Jordan Mason. What he was able to show against the Las Vegas Raiders, not just as a return man when he had that 93-yard return, but that really impressed me. You have Patrick Taylor. You have Kyle Juszczyk, who will get some carries and some balls thrown his way out of the backfield like he did for that splash play downfield against New York. Maybe we'll see a little bit of Patrick Taylor, who's a tall back, who is more of a special teams type of player. So that's what you can expect from this Niners offense moving forward. This is still a team that is absolutely loaded with firepower. Brandon Ayuk is going to continue to play himself into shape and get more acclimated as far as game speed, physicality, and just being the player that he's capable of being. You still have Debo. You still have George Kittle, who will be more featured in the pass game, but people get frustrated with his lack of targets and receptions, but he's so imperative to what they do with their blocking scheme. And this is still a Niners team that has Jawan Jennings as well, who actually led the Niners in receiving last week. Chris Conley, Ricky Pearsall once he comes back, Jacob Cowing. Ronnie Bell was getting some snaps. Brock Purdy does as good of a job as any quarterback in the NFL of going through his reads very quickly. So I think the San Francisco team will be in a good spot, even without Christian McCaffrey. But of course, it is a bummer when you don't have the reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year because he's different. He's one of one. He's a rare breed, and he adds a completely different dimension to this Niners offense. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday. Watching some college football right now. LSU, South Carolina, Alabama, Wisconsin. Some good games a little bit later as well that I will be tapped into. So enjoy it. I will be live tomorrow morning on the Niners Report. Niners Vikings watch party. Pre-game show set for 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Maybe we can do some kegs and eggs, have some fun with the pregame show. Maybe we even go live a little bit earlier. If you want me to go live earlier for the watch party, I want you to type me down in the comment section. Let's see how many people are still watching toward the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Plenty of content to come here on the Niners Report because that is the standard, and we'll catch you a little bit later here on the show. Peace.